I just lost an opportunity to make $110,000. Learn from my mistakes and don't let this happen to you. This story starts back on Monday, April 26, 2021, with me sitting in my office making cold calls to my list of motivated sellers. One of the calls I made that day was to a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom rental listing on Craigslist. This unit was one half of a duplex in the desirable town of Northeast New Jersey. Now, cold calling rental listings on Zillow and Craigslist is one of a few strategies I use to find off-market investment properties. In my head, a landlord sitting on a vacant unit makes for a much more motivated seller. So I called the number in the listing, and after building some rapport, I asked if the landlord would be interested in selling the property. Now, the person I spoke to was just a landlord's rental agent, but they asked me to come and see the unit in person so we could discuss things further. So I drove out to the property later that same week, and as soon as I got there, I found out the owners of the property were going through a divorce, and the court ordered them to liquidate all of their assets as part of the settlement. Now, this is a terrible situation for the sellers, and I really feel bad for them, but quite honestly, it was music to my ears. Before I left that meeting, I also found out that this couple owned over 40 small multifamily properties in Northeast New Jersey. So I raced home and I started running my numbers. We made an offer on that property immediately and closed on it about 2 months later. Then we went under contract to buy another duplex shortly after. This is where things start to fall apart. My partners and I couldn't acquire the entire portfolio of 40 properties at once, so we decided to prioritize a handful of properties so we could take them down in smaller chunks. After we closed on the original duplex where I met the rental listing agent and went under contract on another, we made offers on 2 more properties in one shot, a triplex and another duplex. Thankfully, the sellers accepted both offers. We offered $664K on the triplex and $551K on the duplex. We tapped our investor network and found buyers for both properties. We were going to sell the triplex for $700 and the duplex for $625. So if we're running some numbers, $700 minus $664 is $36K in profit on the triplex, and $625 minus $551 is $74K on the duplex. That makes for a grand total of $110,000 in gross profit on these 2 transactions. The duplex alone was going to be our biggest deal yet. But then we got stuck in attorney review. The sellers were delaying. We followed up with our attorney on a daily basis, but things just weren't moving along. Now, in a normal transaction, attorney review should last anywhere from 3 to 5 business days, but we were sitting ducks for like 2 or 3 weeks. This was weird because we got out of attorney review on the first 2 deals super quick. And then we finally got the call. The deal is dead. It turns out, as soon as we went into attorney review, the seller's agent listed the properties on the MLS as pending. And now changing an active property to a pending property is par for the course when a property starts out on the MLS. However, this was an off-market opportunity. So you might be wondering, why were their agents involved? The sellers were represented by a court-appointed agent. There was no way around it. Although these properties weren't listed, the seller had a contract with this agent that required all sales and dispositions to go through her. We also decided to have an agent represent us as buyers. Remember the guy that I met at the 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit? We brought him onto our team because he had an inside track with the sellers. He was already listing vacant rental units for them. So why did the seller's agent create a new listing just to mark it as pending? 2 reasons stand out amongst many. 1, she wanted to get recognition and credit from the brokerage, which is understandable. And 2, she wanted to drum up new business, which was extremely effective. As soon as the seller's agent listed the properties as pending, a ton of other investors came out of the woodwork and made better offers than us. The sellers gave us 2 hours to come up in price on both assets. They now wanted $700K for the triplex and $640K for the duplex. We couldn't move forward at those prices. Our profits were eviscerated. Both deals ended up going to another investor who wanted to pay retail value. And unfortunately for us, that's just the real estate market that we're in today. After going through the 5 stages of grief on losing this opportunity, my partners and I did a post-mortem. Here are our 3 takeaways going forward, and I hope they help you as well. Number 1, stick to your numbers. We had enough margin in both deals to come up in price, but we could not meet the seller's request at the 11th hour. We had to let the deal go. Number 2, when working with an agent on an off-market listing, make sure the agent does not list the property as pending until you're out of attorney review. And number 3, expedite attorney review as much as possible so someone else doesn't come and steal your deal. I hope you got some value out of this video, and if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss my next one. By the way, what do you think of my 3 takeaways? What's something you do different? Drop your answers in the comments below. And lastly, if you want to learn how I directly market to distressed sellers, there's a link to that in the description down below as well. See you next time.